You gotta rotate your tires, Mr. Streamer. I kind of drip. This is exactly, I'm actually mad at you. When August and I got T-boned, like, we got fucking T-boned. We almost died. My animal was in the car with me. And then coming in and out of consciousness, I pulled us away from driving into oncoming 60-mile-an-hour traffic, okay? And when we told people, motherfuckers that speak just like that, you know what they said? This is why whenever a green light happens, you always wait a few seconds before going through the green light. The light was green for a half a mile down the road. It was still green when I was going through it. The guy that T-boned us crossed 8 lanes of traffic going 60 miles an hour and landed on us instead of making it through the last lane and making it through like fucking Frogger. If my tread is falling off of my tire within a year of getting my tires, it is not because I didn't rotate my fucking tire. You backseating assuming fuck. This is why you gotta rotate your tires, man. Like, you don't know the situation, man. Don't just be saying shit. But also, to that chatter, I'm not mad at you, but I'm mad when people do that, and I'll always call it out. I don't think you're a bad person. I think it's like a random response. And again, hey, maybe real quick before we get into clips, that's what we should normalize doing. We should normalize calling people out on their shit instead of celebrating when they don't make homophobic jokes around us. Times 2's in chat. What the hell? Dude, I called out a friend over the weekend. You know Claire, Cream Pie Queen? You guys saw her on Sunday. She owes us dinner because when we watched Podrick, we were just like, don't pay us, just take us to dinner. I was like, all right, let's go to so many people. How about this Sunday? She goes, nah, Sunday doesn't work for me. And she does this all the time. This is what she does. She always goes, nah, that doesn't work for me. And so I replied with, okay, what days do work for you? Didn't get a response for a few hours. And then I got off stream. This was all on stream that I was responding that. And I got off stream on Friday, and I was just like, wait, we could just go tonight if you're down. And she responds with, nah, tonight doesn't work for me. Do you see a problem here? Do you see a problem in the communication? This is a recurring thing where she just says, no, that day doesn't work for me, but then doesn't say what days would work for her. And so I literally just go, Claire, I'm going to be super honest with you. When you do that, it makes it feel like you don't want to actually make plans because you're not reciprocating trying to make the plans. So if a date doesn't work for you, that's so fucking fine. But if you want to make a dinner happen or a plan happen, you gotta hit back with like, okay, but I'm free every Tuesday. I could do during the day on, you know, like you gotta hit back with something else. She goes, oh shit, that actually makes a lot of sense. You're right. And that's what happens 99% of times with your friends. You call them out on some shit and then they go, oh, damn, that makes sense. Type shit. Did she improve? Yeah, she was immediately like, does Tuesday work? And I was like, yes, Tuesday does work. So tomorrow night we're going to a restaurant. She's buying us dinner. And I think that like directly translates into the whole shit on, I don't know if you saw over the weekend, but there was a little bit of drama with Cutie Cinderella and some of the phase people of people being uncomfortable with a lot of people hanging out with the phase boys because they consistently make edgy jokes that are homophobic or racist or transphobic, etc., etc. Cutie was like, when I hang out with them, they don't make those jokes around me, which that's dumb. And then also saying you're not who you hang out with, and you can hang out with people with the goal of like wanting them to change as friends. But if you're not actively calling them out on it, which you can off stream, but it doesn't, you know, what is then doing the stream actually do to like, what is doing streams with them do to promote that? But I think we should just normalize calling people out on their shit. Because like pre-COVID era, if people said an ableist slur on streams, you wouldn't get banned for it. For some reason, Twitch has always had a stance that you can say the R slur anytime you want and you don't get banned. You can't say other slurs, that gets you banned. But you can always say ableist slurs, which is just like weird. I never knew why Twitch drew that line. But anytime that a streamer would say an ableist slur, everybody in chat would type $D: or like type a weird emote. Like they'd kind of like hive mind push back on the streamer as like that wasn't cool. But nowadays nobody fucking bats an eye. People use multiple different ableist slurs all the fucking time on Twitch, and people are now trying to get away with homophobic slurs again. And now nobody fucking cares. And I think we just need to go back to just like calling people out directly as soon as it happens. And I know that a lot of us probably do it in our real lives, but if your friend does something that is stupid or dumb, it doesn't even have to be hateful in any way. If they're just doing something, just call people out on their fucking shit. It doesn't have to come from a place of anger. Just like, hey, that shit bothers me. Let's not do that. And also, I heavily disagree with the phrase, you are not who you hang out with. You are who you hang out with. Absolutely. Whoever you associate with does represent you. And I think it's as easy as this. A lot of people consume content through short form, through curated YouTube content, right? One in the chat, if you mainly just watch my YouTube content, right? Meeting people over the weekend at the farmer's market, I met like 8 people over the weekend. I think 7 of those people out of the 8 strictly watch my YouTube content, and they come over for the occasional stream. But that's fine, but they consume me in curated clips. And sometimes in like the middle of a run, I'll like have a bout with chat where chat like angers me for something, or they like switch to talking to a subject that I'm like, it would just kind of ruin the vibe in the YouTube video. So we just cut it out. It's just easy to just cut it out. But then YouTube doesn't know like my stance on a take or something like that, right? Because it just doesn't fit into the vibe of a YouTube gaming video. Also because I'm like gonna stop playing the game for a while, right? And so if like, let's say Cutie Cinderella hangs out with the FaZe clan, and the FaZe clan, when Cutie Cinderella is around, doesn't make ableist homophobic jokes, and then Cutie Cinderella's audience that is very, it has a lot of marginalized groups in there, because I think Cutie Cinderella is a force for good. I really do. I think this is a dumb fucking take that she has, but I think Cutie Cinderella overall is a massive force for good. I really think that she is. I don't know her personally, but a lot of people that I fuck with personally, like Nandre and like Scootish and like all these other people, they know the real Cutie behind the scenes, right? And I do disagree with her hanging out with the FaZe dudes, but that's besides the point. But let's say she hangs out with the FaZe crew, and the FaZe crew don't make anti-Semitic or homophobic, transphobic jokes around her because she doesn't like that. Cool. But then her audience that is full of marginalized groups are then like, oh, Cutie fucks with the FaZe guys. I'm gonna go watch the FaZe guys now, because that's how it works. You cross-pollinate audience through collaborations, right? You know, one in the chat, if you found my content through CDog, VI, Ots, Darva, fucking Rarin, whatever, right? You cross-pollinate. And then they go and watch a stream where Cutie's not there, and they start saying stupid-ass shit, and their immediate thought is, wait, Cutie's okay with this. And then they either also become okay with that because they're gonna fuck with the content creator that they fucked with for 10 years, and a lot of times people will like justify in their heads this new type of shit, or they stop watching both of you all together because you associated with a bigot, so now they associate you as a bigot. That's how it works. I was watching Nandre's stream, and he articulates things so well. A lot of times so much better than me. He was like, dude, it's 2025. We need to just wake the fuck up and stop fucking with people that suck. But yeah, that's my take on the whole situation. You guys feel free to share your opinions. I don't have enough mental fortitude to probably read them all out and like have a big back and forth on it. But I think that it is important. Reason that I wanted to talk about it is just so you guys know my stances. I think a lot of content creators don't realize how privileged they are. And part of that privilege is to use your privilege, especially as like a fucking white straight dude, to cultivate safe places for marginalized people and to fight back against that shit. 'Cause that shit is ass. We're going backwards, man. We're going backwards right now. We need to stop. Don't hang out with people that suck, or don't hang out with people that like you have to draw lines for. And have lines, have morals. I'll be straight open and honest of a time that I've done this. Back when I played Lunky on stream for the first time, I did a Lunky-a-thon where I couldn't end stream until I beat 799. I was close to beating 799. I've been grinding it for like 6 months. And during the Lunky-a-thon, somebody jumped into my chat and they asked if they could coach me. And it was another content creator, Albino. And I think Albino's funny, but I don't fuck with the fact that Albino uses ableist slurs. I really don't fuck with that. And so when I had Albino on, chat was like, let's do content together. You guys should do content together. After doing that collaboration, kind of just had like a sour taste in my mouth. I was like, he crosses a line that I don't like. He says things that I don't approve of morally. He is too edgy and I think is behind on the times. And so I was like, I can't. And I think that's okay. Yeah, this is not a call out to go harass Albino or anything. It's not anything like that. Yeah, it's just, I think he uses language and jokes that are not with who I want to surround myself with. Simple as that. Don't make concessions on your morals. Yeah, exactly. It's simple.
He's an arsonist on a noble quest to escape the wrath of the IRS. He's got conflicting positions in the endless fight for queer folks and